Hello YouTubers, it's Travis. Welcome back to another best of 3 traditional Midnight Hunt draft in MTG Arena. Glad that you're here. You ever go through pack 1, you know what you're doing, and then pack 2 throws you a curveball? Maybe even a curveball you've seen before? Yeah, that's what's going to happen today. I hope that you enjoy today's draft. Alright, let's see what we've got here. I wonder if you're supposed to pick the Patrician Geist over the Rite of Oblivion, and if you're supposed to pick either of them over Oregon Hoarder. I've been incredibly impressed with Rite of Oblivion. I've also been really happy with the Patrician Geist. But I think I want to try the Rite of Oblivion. There's a lot of value stapled on that. Would go nicely with Borrowed Time. I found like Abzan tokens can be a good bit of fun with the Rite of Oblivion. But let's see where this takes me. I've never really managed to get black-white to come together very often. It seems like there's a lot of people trying to hack the black cards to get in blue-black. And it would appear that there, probably still are, and that's fine. It's tough here for me to ascertain what's actually the best card in the pack. It could be Locked in the Cemetery, which is kind of sad. It could be the Siege Zombie. Let's start with that. I'm looking to get a hint at what's open, and I'm not quite getting it yet. I can see taking the Trapper here. I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds, just in case we end up trying to do Abzan things. Because I'm going to need some sort of token generation, and if I'm not getting it for black-white, I'll have to go somewhere else for it. This pack kind of stinky-dinky. Like, I could sort of play a Bat Whisperer in this deck. Yeah, I guess if I was drafting a cube deck, and we had that theory of, like, draft like it's cubed, that's what I would want here. Of course, now we get here and there's a bit of a challenge, right? Like, none of these cards are particularly good for anything. Like, we can take the Griff, but at this point I'm just forcing black-white. But that is what I do in a cube setting. Okay. I guess I'm on the force train now. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a very clear, this is what we should be doing path yet. Although somehow some decent cards for what we're trying to do are coming around, right? Like, I'd play the Clarion Cathars, and I think I'd play another Bat Whisperer. I think I'm quite happy to play the Survivor. So, like, maybe we've accidentally stumbled into the right color pair. This deck could certainly play a Luminarch Veteran. People have gotten, like, the idea in their head that I hate the Luminarch Veteran or Lunarch Veteran, and I don't hate it. I just don't think it's, like, something you should be picking incredibly early. I don't think I'm going to get out of this now. How do I feel about 2 of these being my top end? Because I feel kind of okay about it. A Mind Rot that gives me tokens to tap or sacrifice seems good. So we're green. Like, okay, things got interesting. There's my tokens. I guess I'll take the green bomb and we'll force it in and make it work. Because, like, it is inconceivable not to play this, right? I think so. I think you just jam this in there. We'll figure out how to make it work here in a little bit. So if we're going to splash the right still, which I think I might. Where am I getting tokens for it, though? Like, the right may just need to go. If there's potential for that going, I should take the duel for dominance so I have some interaction. Yeah, I think we're getting examples here of like other colors being open, but the power level of this Huntmaster is just not fair. Not remotely fair. I'm going to take the Candle Trap over the Silversmith. I think generally speaking I'd want the Silversmith more, but now I just want to make sure I can get to playables and put this Huntmaster in the deck. And I think we're probably on the way to doing that. Well, I'm not necessarily averse to one drops. I just want them to do... I need them to be at least okay when I top deck them, but a lot of them really aren't. Whereas the Trapper, like, can be given the board state. I'm trying to figure out here if I want another Witch or a Bird Admirer, and I think I actually want the Admirer because I think I'm looking to try to get the game to go just a little bit longer if possible. If we're going to end up splashing the right, I could do it off of a Jack-o'-lantern and a Wilds. That would be fine. People taking their time on these packs. You got to think about it. I don't love having cards as strong as Tovolar's Huntmaster in sets these days because it does just derail whatever you were doing. Like, were you navigating a draft in a particular way? You're not anymore. You're doing this now. Yeah, it could be one person sitting on all the cards. It looks like this player kind of has a lot of cards they're sitting on. Good news is White's open, so like we can totally get away with Pack 2 swapping into the Huntmaster. It's the second time I've done this. The Timberland guide can be good with Rite of Oblivion too if we end up splashing it. I imagine they do standard beat. I imagine there's someone at every table thinking that. I've got so many Hedge Witches masks. Grave Titan at home. Yeah. That works. That's a good idea, Andy. Remind me that next time we're playing New World. I think I would do that. So we could take a revival. The problem is, like, 2 of our removal spells may not end up in the graveyard, so I don't think this is the best case ever for revival, but we can run it. We're probably in the market for a combat trick. Doesn't really have to be a good one. It needs to be a little better than Blessed Defiance, but not much. Well, there's a good number of ways to exile things, right? So it is what it is, as they say. I think I'm happy with another troop, though. So this is a combat trick, and we've basically got a dag. I wouldn't say no to another Candle Trap or Fight spell along the way. If you want to pass me a clear shot, too, that'd be all right. Morning Patrol ain't bad. We're getting a little creature heavy, but I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing in a deck that's interested in Coven. And I've played Bramble Armor before. I haven't played the Mask yet. I don't think I want to here. It's kind of weird looking though, isn't it? Well, I said I wanted a combat trick, and there's Howl of the Hunt being like, yo, did you really? Like, we're not really getting a ton of werewolf value out of it. It's got like 2, but it's a combat trick that sticks around, and I think I did seriously want a combat trick. So here's main deck enchantment removal versus a little bit of ramp versus solid value. Yeah, you can make something semi-unblockable from there. I think I might rather just have this 3-1. I'll play a Sun Gold Barrage in a heartbeat. This is working out. Well, at a certain point, you're not picking the cards for how strong the individual card is. You're picking it for what you think your deck needs. And I'm thinking one of the ways people could deal with this is like some enchantment, like a Borrowed Time on their own. I don't really want to play 2 of these. I don't really have enough graveyard value to be digging through a tapping at the window. But I could play this if I needed to. We do need 2 more playables. There's one of them. I think I'd rather have the captain, but I could respect another tapper. Probably just another combat trick from here. It's a really good sized board card. Poor Vampire Socialite. That's not a bad haul. I'll take it. What's up, generic guy? It is a good day to be Travis. I hope it is a good day to be generic guy as well. I think we got an okay deck here too. Should be a little heavier white, especially with the wilds. Like, I can't keep a hand without white. I can sort of keep a hand without green. This lets me kind of cheat and go 10-9, which is really not a mana base you should be able to build. I'm sorry, unnamed. It does seem like every time they do a patch, it can bork some stuff. Got a curve. This is good enough value for me. Hey-ya. We have indeed built our own Sarah Angel. I gotta fix my emotes. Somebody got frustrated. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened, and then they got frustrated by the attack, which I mean, been there. This is not a judgment against them. They're going to be playing around that combat trick every time they possibly can from here. So we've got at least one disturb card here. I imagine they've got more. But I should probably wait to see them. This is a little harder to justify keeping. I did say when we were building that I would have a hard time keeping a hand without white. And I think that's the case. So I don't mulligan a lot. What are our chances of hitting specifically a white source in, say, 2 draws? If it's over 70%, I should just keep this. So only about 50%. What green? We could hit green cards though. I think I'm talking myself into it. Like, if I mean what I say about most hands in limited are keepable, I should just keep this. Because we're 50% to just hit the white source and look like a genius. And then when you start adding in, we are playing green cards in the deck too. I think I'd rather just do that. I've certainly had that happen before, Browning. Still could use another one from here. Okay, startle me. So the idea for us is stay alive until we can cast this. That's going to be hard. Would be a little easier if we just go land, though. When it has a good deck, they certainly had a good curve. I don't know that it's indicative of necessarily a good deck. It doesn't look like a bad one. Okay, so I need to double block this. Yeah, I think I still have to play the Guardian. The Sludge Monster. They definitely have nice curves. I think we're dead, if you were curious. For those of you playing along at home. I mean, mostly? Yeah, that'll do, Pig. Let's go to the next one, see if we can hit the lands. Like, some of that was we didn't hit the white, but most of it was we just didn't hit enough lands. We've seen more of their deck now and can make more of a determination about whether we want the enchantment removal, and I think the answer is no. The Candle Guide looks not great, huh? Yeah, their deck is not about disturbing. It's about I'm casting big things and getting you. If we had another barrage, I would bring it in, but we don't. That disappoints me a bit, but we can get about as big as they can. I don't think we can do it quite as fast. All right, it's a start. I want to say grab a leg, but I can't. Y'all remind me to fix my emotes. That's frustrating. But they didn't do that before attacks. We're gonna have to take that out. They're good rares. They're real good rares. I can't really use that, but I kind of want to because we've got the Dryads Revive. There's a lot of competing interests in this hand. But I think this is where I start. That was a nice draw. Very happy with that Ritual Guardian. Do I want to trade that for the 3/2? Because I'm not entirely sure that I do. If that's not what I want to do, then we just do this. Candle Trap's no good, though. So we moved into the green deck for the Tolvalar, but the only time we've drawn him, we couldn't cast him, and the deck's functioning just fine without him. I think it helped a lot that white was legitimately open. Nice. It's a little bit of a scary keep, but a keep nonetheless. I think there's this idea that you have to have perfect hands in order to keep. And there's probably a risk of feeling like a fool if you just play 2 lands and never get there. Which I can appreciate, but the math still says a hand like this is pretty keepable, especially on the draw. Like, it just needs 1 land to get going, and it could even be a white land rather than a green one, although green would be better. And I still forgot to redo my emotes. Y'all gotta remind me. How can we realistically play this game if I can't tell people to grab a leg? Now, normally I would not spew off Candle Trap on the first thing they play. But I kind of have to here, as continuing to tap it forever isn't realistic, and if I do that next turn, I've locked myself into not being able to cast the Morning Patrol following, and a lot of Black-Red's abilities trigger off of getting a hit in, much like this Arrogant Outlaw. So we really don't want them to get hits in. We missed our land drop, which feels kind of stupid. And I hate defensive combat tricks, but it feels like the time to use one. It again keeps them from getting that spectacle enabled. So I'm not willing to chump to keep them from hitting spectacle, but I am willing to go through some shenanigans. That is unfortunate. I would have liked to have hit another land. So +2/+2 here would give me a 2/4. It's pretty good. I'm going to try another defensive combat trick. I really need them not to resolve. I'd like to kill this in response. It'd be super swell if they didn't. I tried playing Sealed earlier today, Andy. I couldn't get into Magic online. Combat trick in response, not great, but acceptable. I couldn't log in. I did not. You have to apologize to it. Okay, I will try that next. I think this is still the right call. There's an argument to go to 10 and then try to get this going. So we're really having to block our butts off here to try to play on 3 mana. And stable. I found it to be virtually unplayable. I imagine you're joking, Brownie. In the right deck, it's great? No, it isn't. It's really terrible in all of the decks you could put it in. In the right deck, you can make it look good because you've got room for duds. But I don't think anybody's screaming that Lava Axe is great. There's probably people screaming somewhere that it's playable, and sure, it's playable. No, it isn't. Actual spells that do something are great. But okay, sure, it's a wonderful synergy card for 3 Festival Crashers. You don't get 3 of a particular common very often. At least I've not found that to be the case. Now, I screwed up thinking about that, because that is not what I needed to get there. Because I may very well now die to this stupid Brimstone Vandal, and I don't deserve that. We do need to find a way to Coven, and I have one, unless they'd like to trade it off here, which would make me quite happy. Because if I lose, it's going to be because of that. See, we can bring it back now. It'll be fine. A little weird. I'm not sure what they were trying to avoid there. But I mean, my argument is any spell is good with 3 Festival Crashers in play, right? I guess it does help you close out a game faster, and Lava Axe would do that too. We can start going into air. And slowly get there. I mean, it would be a great draw for them, wouldn't it? We are now in agreement. Lava Axe is great. Back for more. Hungry for more is great. We've come full circle. Tragic, thank you for the host. Much appreciated. You got me. Put some dead to a swing team next turn if they don't do something better. And they've drawn 3 cards with that. Maybe 4? I don't know how these got in the graveyard. That'll help. They're just dead, right? They block doesn't take 2, 4, 6. Yeah, don't need to show them anything. So the only real problem card they have is that Demon Dude, right? The rest of their deck we can almost ignore if we can weather the storm. Whereas this is a problem. So I'd really like to save our removal spells, at least the ones that can deal with it. And now we must deal with it for that if we can. Which is not as many as you'd think. This is really not a spot for the exorcism. Thinking I want to cut one of the combat tricks. Probably this one on the draw, and maybe just play a Bounding Wolf. It does about the same thing. I almost want another one of these. It seemed pretty handy. Yeah, I think I'd rather just do that. This thing just blocks everything in their deck. And once we've actually turned the corner, we can start attacking. It's a perfectly reasonable hand. Okay, so we would like to not deal with that. So I think we trapped that one. We're a long ways off from them playing the 6/6 that we're worried about. This does still mean we don't want to take damage because they'll keep getting value off of it, but I feel like we can kind of be okay here. Probably okay to attack into this. I've got the dang thing in hand. That's not good. There's no way you keep a hand like this if you don't have that 6-drop. Okay, maybe there is. What do I know? Woo! That's the appropriate response, yeah. Kind of with them there. All right, let's go set up our emotes, because it's bothering me that I don't have them. I don't know why the reset needed to take them away, but I need them. Is there a bug where your opponent scoop when you play that? Probably. A bug? Orcish Artillery asks incredulously. I want all of my stickers. I have to not have one sticker. No, it was several stickers I have to not have. I never really end up using this Liliana, whereas these two Hedrons seem good to me, because I can communicate happy and sad, which is important. And we only really need one voice line, right? So we should be good there. Our rank is decaying at a nice clip. All right, one more for all of the marbles. What event are you playing? Are you playing the jump in event? Because that one doesn't end. Assuming you're not playing that. Best of one draft is broken. Oh, Arena, never change. So you're just stuck playing the same draft forever. Oh, Lord. How did they do this? How do you manage that one? It's impressive. This still looks like a Finnish Plains to me, and I dig it. Maybe Icelandic, too. But I like the swampy land. It's nice. What's up, Hunter? I haven't had any trouble with Arena today. At all. So you're grumpy and overly critical if you say it's a garbage pile? I don't know about all that. Is it a garbage pile? Boros forever? Sounds more like a love letter. Yeah, I'm okay with this. That's what combat tricks are for. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the way too while we're at it. Have you been able to Google the answer? I don't really want to make this trade though, so I think we're going to stare at each other for a little bit. My goodness. How about these lands? We just need a few more and we're good to go, eh? I don't think Arena's a piece of garbage. I think Arena has some areas that could be improved. I would not still be playing it if I legitimately thought it was trash. I think there's a lot of things Arena does really well. I mean, it's clearly got to go. I don't know anything about that. I know the game's fun. Who's a good boy? You're still a good boy. Thank you, Dixieland. Why'd you kill my werewolf? Well, I'd like to see you push this through a window. No, Poppet Stitcher for you. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm sitting here thinking we're still playing Magic, but we're not. We do have them down to 27, though. That's nice, at least. I like that. So this is just Esper shenanigans, too. Our plans of getting Coven are not looking great. Maybe. It's possible that your opponent from earlier has actually figured out Magic, John. And that you just need to play an epically large deck. You need big deck energy. I think there's some sort of hard limit in MTG Arena about how many you can play, but I don't remember what it is. That's super handy. Very useful. That's definitely what I wanted to be candle trapping. That sounds pretty cool, Wallet. Not gonna lie. That sounds really cool. Look at this power! Ultimate power! Like, I'm not even upset. That's just so impressive. I don't even know how you get mad. This is just beautiful. Is this an Ixalan pupper? Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? $34 now. But I would agree, those are pretty conservative attacks. Honestly, I just want to let them keep doing their thing because it's pretty impressive. I'll block that one. Yep, you got me. Holy crap. Okay, so I think we want Exorcism for sure. Because we've seen a couple spirits and a couple disturb things, right? We've also got this as an enchantment if they flip it, although it may be too late when they do that, but... I probably also want the other Soul Griff. What I don't need here really are combat tricks. This is not doing anything for me. There's an off chance that I want Bramble Armor. Just to have another mana sink. Because I've got too many creatures, and some of them just don't actually do anything. Yeah, this is not a Lunarch Veteran matchup. This is a Bramble Armor matchup. Which pains me to say. But I need to find a way to make something threatening enough that I can chonk through with it over and over. A plan to win the game through them clogging the board like that. And that's about all I got. That Survivor can do alright in some decks. I think this is one of the decks that can do alright in. Does it flip to an artifact? I thought it was an enchantment. I had no idea. Thank you, Branson. I'm absolutely certain it was an enchantment. So thank you for that. I would have been really confused. I guess that means we'll need to save the Cathar Commander for it. I mean, Mishra's Factory's a land. Who knows, dude? It's a magical world out there, Hunter. Some factories are enchanting. And some dogs are brown. I can't be mad for drawing it when I put it in the deck. This only gets 2 or less, right? Yeah. Would not have minded the land. So the question here is, do we want to go incredibly aggro? Because I could. I don't actually think I have a choice. I'm missing land drops. Well, like I can exercise that and attack here and get the 3-1 back, but the answer is probably just attack with the 3-1. Just like accept the value's gone, swing with this while they're tapped out, get trades if we can, move along with our life. I got a handful of stuff, just not much I can do with it. Oh, it is. This would be, well, it's already not very playable. But if it didn't have the auto-equip, I don't think I would have sided it in. Don't think I need to be borrowed timing a diagraph horde. Biv a section. It's an instant, right? Can also just equip this and start swinging. Because, like, that makes us a big lifelinker. I can swing it in. Well, I say big. It makes it a lifelinker that would trade with any number of the cards they have on board. But kind of okay with that. That's why we put it in here. One of us forgot this has reach. But it wasn't me. So I got their dissipate for this one, but not the next one. I'm probably supposed to kill this, right? What if they have the Geast Weave again? I'm scared they have the Geast Weave again. Yes, I'm aware of how many cards they have in hand. They've played through a lot of them and haven't played the Geast Weave. You doing all right, Andy? Did you have a stroke again? Alright, I'm going to try to go ahead and nab it now. Because even if they stop me, I have an Air Force going, and I can start chonking. Okay. So that means I need Coven so that next turn I can slam down and exile it. But I can't because it's not going to be a creature, right? No, it's at the beginning of your upkeep. I absolutely can do that. So what I need is to just have a turn off of taking damage, which we can certainly do. Because now I gotcha. Bye-bye. I'm pretty tickled we got that one. That was a tough fight. Hey, the creatures move around. I don't need to understand that. They dance. Yeah, never thought I would be siding in a bramble armor, but here we are. What are you looking for with that command, Erob? We are currently in the final game of this draft. Yeah, I think this is the setup I want, bramble armor and all. It sure worked there. It closed out the game fast enough while we're trying to dodge all their good cards. Like, they've got more good cards than us and ways to work with them, so. I'll see what I can do, Unclude. I mean, we can kind of make our own 2-3 and start attacking with it. Which is weird, but might be the way to go for a little bit. Go get him. I don't need to kill that. But I think I'm going to. No, Andy. Before level 20, you can play around with all the different weapons. Even after that, it doesn't cost that much to respec. Play around and see what you like, bud. I'm hoping they don't have the dissipate here. Looks like they don't. And this is a bold move, Cotton. I did not, no. That hardly seems necessary. I'll just flash this in and tap it on my turn. Like, this gives me a more than lethal. Which means they're going to try to kill something here. Which I think means we go for this. That does turn off my Coven. Oh, no, it doesn't. I got a 0 power creature. Neat. I mean, the Bramble Armor is doing God's work. Specifically out of the sideboard in this matchup. Which is why I brought it in. I mean, I think that was a good example of a game where the size board really mattered. Because our main deck was just not able to keep up with what they were doing. But after realizing that they want the game to go incredibly long and I have to turn every creature in my deck into a threat, Bramble Armor just really did that for us. So spam some cats for Bramble Armor, for it was the MVP today. Today was Bramble Armor's day. The Grave Titan Werewolf didn't hurt. But the Bramble Armor was pretty good. And a big thank you to my patrons. You guys and gals are awesome. Thank you for supporting the work that I'm doing here on YouTube. Paul, Jesse, Punk, Rusty, Adrian, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, and Fasty. Thank you very much. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link below to my Patreon where you can support me there. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.